Hi YouTube world, welcome back to my channel. I should really be welcoming myself back to my channel because I have not filmed a video in what feels like forever. I think it's been a month, but it's been just so crazy in my life, so hectic. But thankfully it looks like things are going to be settling down a bit. I am just so done, so done. I'm so tired. I've been put through the ringer. Oh my God. If this is your first time here, welcome to my channel. Maybe this will be interesting. I don't know. You might learn a lot about me. That's probably what's going to happen because what I'm going to focus on is doing a chatty get ready with me with drugstore makeup that has really been saving the day. And it's some makeup I haven't talked about on my channel before. A couple of items maybe I haven't highlighted in some time. So if that interests you, affordable makeup, rocking it on a daily, definitely stay tuned. I actually have the makeup on already. This is towards the end of the day and I was just so happy and confident in it all day long at work that I wanted to share the pretty makeup look, show you how I put it together. So I'm actually gonna wipe it all off my face and do this all over again. And while I do this, I will catch you up on what the heck has been going on in my life and why I've been absent, though I have been answering all of your questions and comments on previous videos. So I do watch, I do pay attention. I just haven't been able to post content. So anywho, if that interests you, stay tuned. All right, so I am going to get this stuff off my face. I worked from home today, but I had, some video calls and I wanted to look nice. Let me tell you, I have been traveling back and forth from Florida back to New York like a mad woman. To catch everyone up, kind of the 1 minute summary of my life this last year. My father passed away after a short bout of illness, really. I mean, he battled cancer for 5 months. And he lost his life at the end of August. And so all throughout, his treatment and everything, I was down in Miami trying to help where I could, help him, help just spend time with him and really keep his spirits up. And after he passed away, my mom was left in this house that was our childhood home, or my childhood home. She'd been there for 41 years, and it's just too large of a house. It was like out in the suburbs of Miami, so not near like the beach or anything like that, really suburbia. And I think that she just knew she wasn't going to be able to maintain it. And actually my dad was already getting to that point too with the house. Like, it was sort of like the money pit. Something would go wrong, $5,000 here, $5,000 there. He was sort of over it also. So they had been looking at moving into a retirement community, one of those like fun retirement communities where they have really great amenities and maybe even in a different part of Florida. And actually during the last month of my dad's life, we found out that we were on a lottery to purchase a house. These retirement communities in the United States are very hot market. So we had put ourselves on a list to purchase a house. It was a long list, and they pull like via lottery. If your name comes up, you have this option to buy and build your home there. And stroke of luck, our name came up and we were able to buy this house. And so the house has been built. It's being built. It's in its last phases. But in order for us to even afford this house, we had to unload and move out of the home in Miami. So if you're curious as to what I used on my face, I used this Micellar Cleansing Milk Remove by Clarins. It's really, really nice. I wish it weren't fragranced at all, but the fragrance doesn't bother me too much, and it leaves your skin really like hydrated, but it does clean it. You know, it cleans everything from it. Ugh, yucky cotton swab. But yeah, I just wanted to share. And as a base of my skincare, I'm just going to use the e.l.f. Holy Hydration. I'm going to try to stick to all drugstore products when it comes to even like the base skincare. And the Holy Hydration by e.l.f. is awesome, by the way. If you've never used it, I have combo skin, but it's really beautiful texture, and even the one with the SPF is lovely. This one does not have the SPF because, well, it's already going to be evening here in New York, so why waste the SPF? But I just love the way this cream feels. It reminds me so much of the Kiehl's Ultra Facial Cream. I know I've said that before, but I love it. Oh my gosh. This cream is so nice and affordable. I will say that before I continue with my story, I have tried a ton of products during this time period that I've been traveling, and I have a box full of crap, stuff that just did not work. So I definitely want to do a video like this one, a chatty get ready with me using the makeup I really, really don't like. And it includes actually some skincare from e.l.f., which was really surprising from their new kind of clean line. I don't know. It did not work well for me. So anywho, back to my story. So we found out we were able to purchase this house. We've been building it. It's almost ready, but we had to unload my mother's house. And let me tell you, unloading a house in what felt like no time, a house that had absorbed my grandmother's stuff, my sister's home stuff, my stuff. It just had like 4 people's homes in it. It was sort of wild to have that expectation. And we managed to do it. I mean, my mom managed to do it. She parted with so much. And you know, she's not one to really part with a lot, and she did a great job. I mean, look, this has been such a hard time, just like losing her partner of more than 50 years. Like, if that's not hard enough, then you lose your home. And I know it's like a voluntary thing, but we're not people that like moved around that much. So we're not the packing, you know, unloading stuff. It's just not something we do. And so we're just not good at it. We're really not good at it. But we managed it through, and we sold the house. I mean, the house sold in days. Talk about craziness. I mean, Mayday, this housing market's going to crash again. Mark my words, because this just makes no sense that a house can sell the way that it does with the aggression. I don't know. It's a little weird. I mean, I'm just glad it's done for in terms of like our needs, but I worry for everyone else out there. Gosh, can I just tell you, I love this stuff. I can't believe I haven't used it more. I bought it a while ago. I think I used it to compare it to Becca's skin tint, and I didn't really use it altogether that much, but it's the Wet n Wild Tinted Hydrator. I mean, look at that. It's so pretty. I put on the color light, which actually it's really hard to tell the shade, but it's written here very small. So I used light because I have gotten some sun down in Florida, but I'm also going to take a little bit of the fair. I have fair too, and I'm going to use it to almost like highlight my face a little bit. I'll just use the tiniest amount, but it's such a pretty formula. It covers so well. It doesn't cover like everything, but it doesn't leave like little kind of pools of product, which for me sometimes with these tinted serums and BB cream, CC creams, when they're a little too thin, they do not sit well on my face at all. Like, I had a terrible time with the Fenty Easy Tint, whatever that's called, Easy Drops. That looked horrible on me. I recently at the Sephora sale purchased the Rare Beauty one. Oh, awful, awful on my skin. I mean, again, this is a my skin thing, but I could not get that to work. It looks so awful. You could see it clings onto every single little dry patch I have on my cheeks, and it just collects in each of my pores, making my pores look like 10 times larger. And here, this is a product that costs like $3, and it doesn't do any of that, and it's so nice. And I love actually having the two shades and just sort of using it just as I did right there to kind of highlight my face a little bit without using highlighter. And I'm just using like a double-ended brush. This one's from Stila, but you know, you can use any like soft, not densely packed brush. And I think as long as you put on this product over a nice moisturizer that you didn't let completely dry, I think that's really the trick, at least for me, So if that happens to you with the pooling of the products in your pores with some of those like very liquidy tinted serums and things, mark my words, try something that has a little bit more of a gel base and that you layer over a nice moisturizer. It doesn't have to be expensive, but just a nice moisturizer. So that is my skin for right now. I love how that ended up looking. In fact, I'm not going to powder or anything over it. I'm just going to start with my blush. And I'll start with my blush as soon as I introduce the blush. I just purchased this on a whim. So as I'm down in Miami and I have access to a car, which is not something I have here in New York City, one of my favorite things is to go into drugstores. I love drugstores, and I'm not even a couponing person, but I love couponing at CVS. I just think they have the best coupons and you can use them immediately. So you could really be a smart shopper, and it's a lot of fun to kind of like outsmart the CVS folks. And so CVS carries that Korean brand Joa, which I haven't had a lot of experience with. In fact, when they first came out, I purchased like a couple of lip products and I really didn't like them at all. I just didn't think they were nice. I didn't like the color, I didn't like the formula. But I saw this, the Airlight Soft Powder Blush, and I saw it in this kind of like tawny terracotta peach color, and I just thought it was really a nice muted color for the drugstore. And I love the packaging. I love this clear packaging. It reminds me of the Buxom blushes. It reminds me of the Clinique Pop blushes. I just like being able to see my blush through the packaging. It just really helps with storage, and I like how like minimalistic it is. And I just was really attracted by this color, and so I'm going to put it on so you could see. And it's such a soft, buildable formula, but it's really nice. And it's this, yeah, kind of like a burnt toasty color, not quite peach, not orange, not brown, somewhere in the middle. And I bring it up really high actually because I like when it blends in with my eyeshadow, which I'll be putting on. But I really liked it, and I did feel like it wore very well today. It faded a little bit, but nothing too significant. And I do have a tendency to like kind of rest my hand on my face a lot during the day as I'm reading documents or stuff. I do that. So I mean, part of the wear down is the fact that I'm constantly touching my face, which is not something you should do, especially when you're wearing makeup, because you're gonna have breakouts. But I just love bringing that really high, almost into the eye. I just love that effect that it gives. Ooh, I love that. I just love that. What a nice blush. Really happy I picked this up. And so this is the shade Naked Rose. Terrible name because there's nothing rose about this. It is very much warm leaning yellow orange because I mean, look how it's picking up on my skin, but it's beautiful nonetheless. And I recommend it. I think I picked up another color too, but I haven't really tried that one yet. Next up, I'm going to use the Lumi True Match Bronze It. I love this. I love this. This is this giant bronzer. I have mine in the shade 01 Light. And this one, I just love it. I know it doesn't even look like I've used it, but I swear I've used it. And so I just love the tone. It's very similar to the Charlotte Tilbury Bronze and Glow in Light. So it's pretty subtle. I didn't want like a very deep bronzer today. Just something a little subtle. And I just love it, love it. It has a little bit of a sheen to it, but nothing aggressive. And I just love the big pan. I love that it's affordable. Some of this affordable makeup has really been, you know, showing up for me. Showing up for me. And in fact, I just purchased some more items that are coming. I got some items from the Wet n Wild Care Bear collection. Because Care Bears, growing up, they had my heart. They had my heart. So stay tuned for that, because I will definitely do a video on that. I hope it's good. I mean, Wet n Wild products for me are a bit hit or miss, but I'm hoping that it's nice. Let's jump into the eyes, because this was something I picked up that I had been wanting for so long. This is the NYX Ultimate Utopia palette. Now this product came with some strife. I first got it in 2 shades, were completely crumbled. I had ordered it from Ulta. They have terrible, terrible packaging. So this is like a hard plastic, and yeah, it was no surprise that it was shattered. So I had to send that back, and they sent me one, and thankfully it was nice and new. I have been playing with this, and I had never used NYX eyeshadows before, but let me tell you, I am very, very impressed with this shadow. It's sort of like a very kind of muted, neutral vibe going. I mean, it has some cool shades, it has some neutral, it has some warm. It's really a little all over the place, and it only has a few, really like a few kind of topper shades, a couple of satin, but for the most part it is a heavy matte shadow, you know, an eyeshadow palette. And I just really had always been attracted to the color. And I'm not even a big palette person, like a big large size palettes. I tend to not like large size palettes. So this one has just really impressed me. I want to do a quick eyeshadow look. I'm going to use this shade first, which looks like a soft pink, but I'm telling you, on the eye, it's much more vibrant. And I really like it. Oh my God, look at that. It's so nice. And I'm not using any primer, though I would use some primer on with these shadows. Just for myself, I have extremely oily eyelids, and I have this deep fold there, which inevitably, like, my oils start to come out and it will make product gather. And so it did do that today. If I use some eyeshadow primer, it could be like the Milani eyeshadow primer, just a little bit, it would certainly help with all of that. But since I'm at home and I wasn't like sweating a lot or anything like that, I risked not using the primer. I do that sometimes, especially if I'm at home. I don't need things to be like to go 16 hours. Now, when I have to go into the office on Thursday, yes, it's going to be a very, very long day in the office, and I'm definitely going to need that wear time to be its max. So I will be using a primer, but I just wanted to make mention of that. But I just love that color. Like, even as a one and done. It's such a pretty soft pink coral color, and it blends out like a dream. Like I can keep building this up and making it as like blown out as I want, but it's so easy. It's just easy, easy, easy. I really love it. I love how there's kind of a bony shade here that if I wanted to take and just blend around the edges, that helps me soften it even further. Oh, I love that color. I'm gonna use this kind of mulberry shade here to deepen a little bit the outer corner using the same brush, which are by Moda actually. I want to do a video, a revamp on my brushes, because I explored Moda brushes and I really like them a lot. I think I bought like 4 sets, not entire sets, but like little mini sets. I found them on a Nordstrom rack online, and I'm really blown away by the quality, especially this tie-dye one. You saw that for my bronzer, I use this one. I love the shape. I love the handle. I love the design. They wash super well, really, really well. They're so soft. No part of them are like kind of like any part is poking out and is hard, which sometimes even happens with really high-end brushes. Yes, I was traveling. We signed the house, you know, what is that called? The closing happened on Friday in Miami. Then I drove my mom up to Orlando, which is about a 4-hour drive, where we dropped her car off at her brother's home there. And then we took plane rides back home on Sunday. So that's how we spent our Easter. I flew up to New York, and actually my mom flew into Connecticut because she's going to be staying with my sister until her home in Daytona Beach is ready. So that's essentially where I'm at with my life. And in the midst of all this, you know, I tell you, people, this is a lot of emotional turmoil. I'm feeling pretty good today, so I'm going to kind of rest my laurels on the fact that I feel good today. But there were many days I didn't feel good. You know, this last month, 2 months in particular, something has come to a head, and I was pretty low. I was in a real deep depression. I had bought a lot of makeup during this depression, so I have a ton of brand new makeup, but have I tried it? Have I played with it? Have I even been motivated to sit down and do a video? No, I haven't. And I've just been feeling so low. And truthfully, there's something about when you feel that way sometimes, you know, it's a bit of a double-edged sword, where you want to be able to share with people how you're feeling. It'll make you feel better. It'll make me feel better. I know when I watch videos of someone going through a hard time, I'm very empathetic, and I will watch and kind of write words of encouragement. But I also watch YouTube for myself as an escape when I want to be uplifted. And I didn't want to sort of put out there sort of my sadness, which just feels, it's my own, you know. It's deep, and it's sometimes very unyielding. And I didn't want to be responsible for sort of more sadness. I know that's not the case. I know, you know, people can choose what they want, and it could be helpful. And maybe this moment is helpful for people to know that, you know, you'll get through things even when it doesn't feel like you're going to get through it, but you're going to get through it. And so, yeah, I'm sort of now at that point. I'm going to put on this sort of satiny color right here in the front. This wasn't the one I wore today though. Let's put on that one. It's a little more bronzy. There we go. And that's the shade down here, in case you have this palette. It doesn't have shade names, but that's okay. Oh yeah, I was a little hesitant, you know, and I just really didn't have the motivation. It took me months or like 5 weeks to actually like put on makeup on my face and feel like I didn't look like a clown or someone pretending to put on makeup and feel better. It just felt very much like a mask that I couldn't handle. And so I'm very happy that I'm past that point now and I'm enjoying makeup. So I have quite a few video ideas of things that I've been loving that help kind of yank me out. I have another full face of new makeup that I want to share, and also the duds video, which I think would be a lot of fun to film and might have a lot of stuff that would surprise you. So I definitely want to share that because I feel like we're always being told, buy this, buy that, and some of the stuff is just not good. I'm using the e.l.f. brow, what is this called? Wow Brow in the shade Deep Brown. I like this. It's very similar to the Glossier formula. I like that it has enough impact to fill in quite a bit of my brows without me having to go down the path of using a pencil. So it has nice coverage. It has nice hold, but it's very soft. It's like a soft, fluffy hold. But pretty impactful, like pretty bold, the brows, and yet pretty, and but yet like fluffy and more natural. So I love that. A great little product. The Wow Brow. I can't believe I had never used it before. Also from e.l.f., I've just been using this mascara. This is my second purchase of it. I really like it. It is the e.l.f. Lash It Loud Volumizing Mascara. It's like a good everyday mascara. You have to be careful with it. You could poke yourself in the eye because it has short, spiky bristles that if you get too close to your eye, yeah, it could take your eye out. But I've tried quite a lot of mascaras. I'll have to do a roundup. There's one in the dud bin that everyone was like, oh my God, you have to try, it's so amazing. And let me tell you, on me, it was laughable. It was the type of mascara where, sure, it looked good, yes, granted, but then your eyelashes would get stuck together. So I would be talking to someone blinking and then like my eyelashes would meet and I couldn't open my eyes. So I don't know. To me, I don't care what my eyelashes look like. If you blind me, you're going in the trash, and I'm telling people. So, oh, sirens. I don't miss New York City. Shall I make that confession? I was in sunshine and pool and just in quiet, and I don't miss the constant noise of New York City. I'm just not feeling fun in that way. You know, normally all that noise, that just constant chaos that you hear, like I just heard my neighbor flush his toilet. But, you know, all of that adds to the idea of like, oh yeah, I need to get out there. The world is moving. Things are, you know, happening. And I don't know. I feel very old lady like where, not old lady like, I feel sensitive. I feel delicate. And feeling delicate and sensitive in New York City, it's not a good vibe. There are too many things assaulting your senses to make that work. But who knows? Maybe I'll get there again. And if not, I just have to move. I mean, what can you do? What can you do? I just put on the Essence Stay Lip Liner in the shade Just Perfect. It's a nice lip liner. It's a nice neutral pink color. I'm gonna be putting on my Flower Beauty Chill Out lip glaze in Peace Out, this peachy one. I did a whole video on these. These are so beautiful. They're such a comfortable formula. Nice, high gloss, nourishing. If you're curious about this, I'll link the video down below where I try on all the shades. But I love the formula. It's very gel-like, kind of plush on your lips and not sticky. Feels almost like a lip oil. And I love reapplying it throughout the day because why not? So essentially that was my look today. So this is like the refreshed version of what I came up on. And yeah, it just made me feel good today. I just felt good when the camera had to go on and I had to talk about all the boring stuff I talk about. You know, like this just made me feel like myself. And sometimes, you know, that is why we do this, right? Why we should be putting on makeup. It's to make us feel better. I mean, at least that's how I think about it. I've always thought of it that way. If it feels obligatory, if it feels like it's not really representing me and what I'm feeling or doesn't uplift me, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. So I hope this was, I don't know, interesting. Let me know if you have any questions down below. I think next I'm going to definitely tackle my naughty bin, the bin that hasn't worked out for me. And then I have a lot of other videos. So maybe I'll do maybe I will do a poll on my community tab that asks what you want to see first. I'll try to be specific, but I'm gonna go through my stuff and see. And I have a ton of lip products that I want to rave about, but I'm holding back. Are you ready to hear about some products to be raved about soon? I'll try to do some short videos on lippies that I'm loving. So I hope everyone is doing well. I hope the weather is turning and it's embracing you. I guess depends on what hemisphere you're in, but you know what I mean. Anywho, much love. Thank you all for all the sweet comments and support when I have posted pics on my community tab. I do read them all and I do cherish everything that you guys say. So anywho, I hope all is well and big kisses.